Hey, all you lotheads, good Monday morning to you. It is a Monday morning. Wow, Monday morning. Thanks for joining in this morning. What a great weekend. It's early, and a lot of people need some go-go juice in the morning. Today I forgot my Dubby cup, but I did not forget my Dubby energy drink. So if you see me drinking out of a red Solo cup this morning, that's the reason. I usually have my my little Dubby tumbler, but yeah, it's a Monday morning, and I was excited to get to work. So I was in a hurry this morning because I wanted to bring all of you guys the good news this morning that if you're a fan of Coca-Cola and the Mexican style Coke with pure cane sugar, you're going to be very happy because Coca-Cola has just announced that they are going to start making their product, the Coca-Cola, with natural cane sugar instead of that high fructose corn syrup that they've been using for the past 30, 40 years, I think maybe. I'm not sure how long it's been, but hey, I'm excited. I'm a Coca-Cola drinker, and I do prefer the natural sugar in mine. Just never been a fan of either the sound of high fructose corn syrup or the actual product itself, but just super excited about that. But hey, I am more excited to bring you the excellent news that your Fort Worth Sandlots brought home another W. That's right, Daddy brought home the groceries, and it's a double bag right now, man. He's just walking through that door, can't even fit because he's got two big old W's on each side just trying to walk through that door. And that makes me very happy and super excited to bring you that news this morning. So that's where we're at right now. Just waking up. If you're just waking up, man, that alarm clock might be just yelling, screaming at you right now. Just reach over and punch it right in the face. If you don't have to be at work today and you just forgot to turn your alarm off. I hate it when that happens to me, especially on the weekends. Sometimes I have to come in and fill in, and my schedules just get so messed up, and I forget what day it is and forget to turn my alarm off. And there's nothing more annoying than your alarm going off at 3:45 a.m. on a weekend that you're supposed to be off. So if that's you, you have every right to turn over and just destroy that alarm clock right now. But if you're a morning person like I am, that's not such a bad thing. Go ahead and get up, grab your Dubby. Grab whatever you drink to get you going in the morning and get ready to jump in the deep end this morning. And, man, we got a lot to bring to you. Got a lot to cover this morning going into the second half of the season. So if I haven't already mentioned, since I did tell you good morning, I did not tell you what you were listening to, but you were listening to The Wrap with Dez, and this is the only place where Sandlots baseball meets dugout stories and a little bit of attitude. We just like to bring you that attitude, that edge, because we are very competitive, very spicy on that baseball field. We got a lot of swagger, and we like to reflect that in our podcast. So got a lot to get to. There was a lot going on Friday night at The Rock. The Sandlots took the field against the Rangers, and we had been talking about this one, and it did not disappoint, especially if you're a Sandlots fan. If you're a Rangers fan, well, not too much to be happy about this morning. But, this wasn't just another game. It really felt like a statement, a big W in the standings, sure, but an even bigger step towards setting up a dominant home stretch, which is going to be very important for the Sandlots going forward. Now, remember, I gave y'all 3 keys to the victory on Friday, I believe it was. The keys being the availability of everyone on the roster so that Bruce Raspberry could construct a competitive lineup against a very talented Rangers team. And we'll get to that in a little bit, but that was key number 1. Key number 2 was starting pitching, and then 3 was defense. And let me tell you, we nailed it on 2 of those 3 fronts. But first, the availability. So going into Thursday, I'm always begging Raspberry for a lineup so that we can see, what we're working with this week. And it came down to almost game time before I got that roster. And when I did, I looked at it and saw the guys that would be out and saw the availability and the lineup that he constructed. I was not very confident that we would have a great showing against the Rangers, just because of the lack of big names in the lineup. The names that have been keeping the train on the tracks, keeping the forward motion going. People like D-Team Crimes, Landon Loggins, Derek Surley, Mike Van Sant. But, we didn't blink. We had 9 players. And, that's sometimes, you might be tending to panic when you've only got enough to field each position. And thank God that these guys are talented enough to play multiple positions, because there was no scrambling. Instead, the rest of the crew that was in the lineup tonight stepped up big. Hits were coming from everywhere in the lineup, and it was pretty relentless. You could almost see the Rangers dugout unraveling at points, like they were trying to plug holes on the Titanic while the band kept playing. It was just like an ant mound at times, just going nuts. But, it sucked to be them, and it was great to be us. And second, so the starting pitching, that was just as important as having everyone available, but even more because it's a straight product of the game. A lot is gonna depend on your starting pitcher. And that starting pitcher Friday night was Roger Dodd. He got the call after being out pretty much all season. This last week was the first time he was able to join us, and Friday night was the first time that he had taken the mound in over a year. So we were kind of waiting to see what the results of that were going to be, if he'd have his old stuff. I mean, he's always been an excellent thrower, or an excellent pounder at the strike zone. Let's just say that. He throws a lot of strikes. He doesn't have a lot of velocity on his pitches, but he just gets the job done, And he's not just pitching on Friday. He wasn't just pitching on Friday night. Check this out. He's out there putting on a show. When Roger takes that mound, it is a show. It's a very entertaining. He likes to talk a lot, but he's got these new pitches now, and it's not that he's named them. We've kind of more named them for him, but he doesn't really have a very fast fastball, so it's just funny. We call it the Exterminator for his fastball. He's also got the Extricator, which is his slider that he uses to get out of certain situations, and the one that we all love, the Super Curve. And this thing drops out of the sky like it's got a parachute, and it's faster than your internet dropping on a Texas thunderstorm day, man. It just drops out of the sky, and it's very hard to hit. It's very hard to get any timing on, and now he's workshopping his changeup. And we've got two names for that, the Educator and the Denominator, because he's sending hitters home for the summer with a report card and some extra math homework. This guy is working it on the mound, and we love having Roger back. And guess what? The best part is Roger's having fun again. You can see it on his face. The smirk after a big strikeout. Yeah, it's there. It's there. And that's the look of a guy who's loving every second on the bump. And we love having him up there. He just gives a little bit of more confidence against teams that hit like, let me see, they hit regular pitching. I would say regular velocity pitching. They hit it very well. And that's what happened to us in our first matchup. But Roger shut all that down, and he pitched 4 innings of 1-run baseball, and that was super exciting to see. And going forward, it's something that we can put in our back pocket and hopefully count on every time he takes the mound. The third key was defense, and that was smooth, man. It was very crisp. Turned a couple of double plays, and it was just like clockwork. Outfielders cutting balls off in the gap, and no mental lapses. And that's playoff-ready baseball, And I say all that to say that in the last few innings, we'll recap the game in a little bit, but there was a there was a couple of frustrating moments for Tim Green on the mound late in the ball game. But the win, man, just completely massive. And I used that word last week on Thursday or Wednesday. I'm sorry, on Wednesday, the Wednesday podcast. It was just massive. Because the Rangers are going to be our biggest competition. We're fighting to keep that second place spot with the Coyotes at 7-1. I mean, that's going to be hard to catch down the stretch. We only have one game with them coming up, and that's coming up this Friday, as a matter of fact. So that's going to be not the be-all, end-all game, but it's going to be a very important game for not only pride but playoff seeding when it comes down to it. So. This is our best chance to put some real distance between us and the Rangers in the standings and stack those W's and just put some pressure on them. And then, of course, there's that looming showdown with the Coyotes that I just mentioned, and that's going to be a head-to-head, for it's not really going to do much for us in the standings against them, but it's going to help us put some distance between us and the Rangers. Hopefully, the Bulldogs can take care of business this week and hand the Rangers another L and do us a favor. Won't count on it, but we're going to hope for it. So yeah, going down the final stretch, if we can just get a head-to-head win against the Coyotes, man, that'll do a lot for our confidence surging down into the final stretch. And you just couldn't script it any better. So yeah, Friday night at the Rock just felt different, man. The Sandlots, they feel healthy, they're clicking, and they're having fun again. That's if you were to ask manager Bruce Brasberry, what the most important thing is that he would probably say that the team is having fun again. And when you're clicking and you're having fun, man, that's a dangerous combo. So, again, you're listening to The Wrap with Dez. That is what we're going to get into today. So keep your ears open, your gloves ready, and the Sandlots are coming for it all. So let's get into it. Grab your dubby, and let's go. So we're going to jump into, let's see, what do we got this morning? Let's see. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the MLB All Star game that just passed, just really quick. And I'm going to set up something that we're going to talk about, in a couple of podcasts down the road. But I want to get some ideas from you guys. So just stick around. We're coming up with all that in just a few minutes, actually. So before we get into that, just want to let you know that this podcast, The Wrap with Dez, is sponsored by Tire Store Service Center. And a big thanks to Tire Store Service Centers because nobody wants to strike out on their tires. Whether it's a slow leak or you're running a bald rubber, they get you back in scoring position. Stop by Tire Store Service Center where flat tires go to retire. All right, so let's get into the game recap because I know that's what everybody's been waiting for, the commentary on the game and also some video. So we're going to just check this out right quick. Let me bring up the graphics. And here we go. So we're going to start off with the Rangers taking bats first since the Sandlots were home team. I was going to go through these highlights and just kind of give you commentary on the play-by-play, but we're just going to give you the overall. Looks like it was going to be very important for the Sandlots. That was key to the game, that we were going to have good pitching. So here comes Roger Dodds, going to start the game very solid. Here's a line drive to me at third for the first out of the game, and that was just going to set the tone for everything else. The Rangers would put some balls in play, would have a couple of hard hit balls later in the game and drive across a couple of runs, but for the most part, Rogers just kept them in check. And for our part, we did our part by putting the ball in play. The pitcher that they had on the mound was pretty easy to pick up the ball on. And so there was a lot of hard hit balls by us, but mainly we were just putting balls in play and letting the Rangers kind of hang themselves as the defense was very bad, uncharacteristically for the Rangers. Just routine plays not made, a lot of balls thrown away over at first base. Just seemed like they were just trying to rush a lot of stuff. Almost like they had most of the pressure on them, and the Sandlots were not feeling any pressure at all. Just up there doing what they do. Here's Steve with a very hard hit ball down the line. It looked fair. It was questionable, and here's a questionable strike call. If you look at the replay here, man, that ball was just a mile outside. It was caught the inside half of the left-handed batter's box. And here's a funny little episode right here. Bruce decides to pull out some signals that we rarely use. Steve just wasn't even paying attention. I did not get the memo. It looks like the only one who did was Hare at second base. And Steve just kind of guesses as to what Bruce wanted. He's like, I guess he wants me to bunt, so I'm going to try that. So he squares around the bunt. Hare takes off, and I'm stuck at first base, not knowing what the heck's going on. And so it was just a mess. But just a funny little incident on the field. And we definitely need more practice with those signals, Bruce. So Garner gets on there. I'll take a walk. And, man, there's Olsen with a nice rip in the hole at between short and third. That'll bring up Nyberg, and he'll take a walk, it looked like. David Raspberry Sr. joined us for the game tonight. Good to have him on the field, but he just kind of struggled at the plate tonight. That's what happens when you just don't see a lot of pitching. It wasn't his fault, but he did contribute and help us see a good amount of pitches. And here's some more of us just putting the ball in play, and that'll bring around Olsen to score. I'm not sure who hit that one, but yeah, just story of the night, man. Just us putting balls in play and letting the Rangers just kind of do what they do that night. Do what they do with the ball, and it wasn't always a good result, but it was good for us. Here's more of Roger. Look at this pitch sequence, man. Just dropping those super curves in there and just confounding Rangers hitters. They just could not get a handle on that thing, man. You can see how slow it is and how much it drops. I don't know if that was his extricator or the exterminator. Looked more like a super curve, though. But I think Roger's having fun, and we just want to throw those names out there for him because it's hilarious for us. Here we go with some more good hitting by the Sandlots and just being opportunistic. Look, here's another run coming across the plate there. I believe that was Garner taking another walk. Here's Dodd. Great effort by the pitcher there, just not able to wrangle that one in. That'll advance the runners. Just good fundamental baseball, putting the ball in play, moving runners over, and creating opportunities there. This was one that dropped in. It looked like they might have caught it, but I thought I was going to have to tag. Did not. It dropped, and there's another run scored. There's Jeff with a single. A single to the left. This guy missed batting practice this week and came out just smoking the ball. Great effort by Nyberg tonight, or Friday night. That was good to see. And there's another strikeout, and that'll take us to the third inning. Dodd's still on the mound. There's a little hit and a play over at first base. Good fundamentals there. And here's a squirrely one, too. Guy squares around the bunt. And I guess they were attempting a double steal. They were waiting for us to throw down the second, and that's what happened. And then Roger cut it off for some reason. We weren't sure about why he did that, and it was just a strange thing. Here's one to me at third, a weird in-between hop that kind of stuck between my arm and my side. Was able to make the play. And then another little infield fly that I was able to cut across the field and grab. Which is not much excitement for the Rangers tonight. Here's a little one, and it looks like they're going to score a run on this one. That's one of the very few runs they scored. And actually, I don't even think they scored on that one. I think we made the play before they did, which keeps Rogers' shutout intact through three innings now. Watch this overthrow at first base. Story of the night for the Rangers. And then Steven Terrell with an absolute just laser to deep left center, burns the outfielders and drives in. I believe he drives in 2 runs on that one. It could have been an RBI double, but I thought it was 2 runs. And that'll bring, I believe that's me at the plate, and I get a good one and hit that lip, man. That lip came into play a couple times tonight for both teams, and that one bounced 10 feet over the shortstop's head once hitting it. To keep the train rolling there. And then here comes Terrell to score. And I'll just kind of cruise into third base there. As much as the Sandlots scored Friday night, they did leave a lot of runs on the bases, and it could have been a lot worse for the Rangers, but we'll take what we can get. And there's a walk for Olsen. And this is the 5th inning. This Tim Green will come on the pitch now, relieving Roger Dodd, who did pitch 4 innings of shutout ball. That was awesome to see. Man, and we just keep mowing him down here. And it was funny later in the game, with 2 outs in the final inning and a pretty good lead by us. Tim was just pitching a great game, and it was almost like we were trying to sabotage it. There was a couple of plays in the infield, just very routine plays that were missed, and you could just feel the laser beams coming out of Tim's eyes when he would kind of look your way, because we know we should have made those plays, and for some reason it was just I don't know what it was. There was one off the lip that kind of caused Harris some issue. I believe Garner had a little flub at second base, and then I totally missed a very playable ground ball to me. Here's another weird one. Another throw down and a double steal, and Hare kind of just zooms it right over Bruce's head. That'll score a run. It kind of got sloppy towards the end, just a little bit, but these weren't as consecutive as they look on here. And I just can't say, enough about the composure that Tim kept on the mound, despite us trying to ruin his save. And there, speaking of Tim, he's pulling in a third there. And then Raspberry just drills one hopper to the fence and drives in 2 here. It's a 2-run RBI double for the Raz, coming through, man. Finally got a hold of one. And here's more of the same from the Rangers. A routine ground ball by Terrell, and they just cannot keep the ball on target. I'll take a walk here. And then we load the bases because I believe Olsen. There's Dodd. A little grounded to second that they weren't able to wrangle in. Drives in another run. And they finally make a play here. Good on them. And I believe that'll take us to the last inning. And Bill drives one off of Green. Very random shot. There wasn't too many of those, as you can tell. And I think these here's a pickle. So the runner tried to steal third and just got the wrong jump, and I was able to tell Tim to step off, and then we get the rundown. Perfectly executed fundamentals on that one. We were very proud of that, and it was very fun to do that. And then Green just comes back, issues a walk there, but then they put the ball in play. They score a couple of runs, and here's a play that, man, we sure thought we had this guy out. And looking at the replay, there's the tag. He's not on the bag. Later in the game, or after the game, as a matter of fact, the umpire admitted that he had missed that call. But with the score being what it was, we kind of let it go. And here's the last 3 pitches, I believe, of the game. I don't know why this one got doubled up, but this is the same pitch on the first 2. So he starts him out with a strike right down the middle, and then comes back and just totally just throws smoke on this one. Can't catch it. And then the final out of the game, another swing and miss. And that will wrap it up for the Sandlots as they take it to the Rangers, man. And final score is 13-4. What a great feeling to just get out there and totally redeem ourselves from the first time that we played the Rangers. They took it to us the way we took it to them on Friday night. So I did get a chance to speak to a couple of players after the game. One of them was Roger Dodd. I just had to get an interview with this guy because he's so animated and just upbeat. And, he's been out for most of the season, just joined us last week and filled in wonderfully in center field for Steven Terrell. But this week, it was going to be a different challenge because he was going to be on the mound. And after being gone for nearly a year and not knowing how much work he's had in between, it was kind of a question what kind of performance we would get from him on the mound. But it seems like he was pretty pleased with his performance. We were as well. 4 innings, no runs or 1 run. I have to go back and look at that, but I believe it was just 1 run, if none at all. I think Bruce said that he had pitched a shutout, but we'll have to go back and look at that. Anyhow, without further ado, here is my interview with Roger, where I started off asking him about his absence and how it would affect his performance.
I hadn't pitched in over a year, so I just tried to come out and throw and relax and just play my game, which is location. I don't throw hard. I just throw my curveball and try to locate the corners, and I was good with my location tonight.
Yeah, and do some contact. So, what did you think about the defense play behind them tonight?
Excellent, and guys helped me out a lot. I throw drag balls, so I get a lot of ground balls. So they threw them out at first, and so that was a key big part of this game.
So going forward, this is a big win against the Rangers because they're a big.
Puts us in second place by ourselves.
Absolutely, by ourselves, and we're going to put some distance between them tonight. So going forward, how you feel? I mean, you got a couple more starts in you, right?
Oh yeah, my arm feels good. My arm never gets sore. I got a new arm. It never gets sore, so I'm ready to go anytime. And Bruce has good plan to mix it up with the slow pitcher me, and we come in with Tim, the fast pitcher, and it works out great for the team.
Right, good deal.
So I'm willing to do whatever helps the team. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. How'd you do at the plate tonight?
Not so good. I hit the ball hard a couple times, but right at him. So I got an RBI though on one of them. So
there you go. That's moving the ball around, moving runners around the bases, and helping us put some runs on the board. So good job, Roger Higgin. Great job. Good to have you back.
Awesome.
So that was Roger's interview. Just a very likable guy, very vocal out in the field. You can hear him from anywhere on the field once he gets to chirping out there. But tonight, Friday night, a great performance on the mound. Just gave us a really good head start and held the Rangers to very little offensive efforts. And that's what we're going to need from our pitching staff going forward. Just really good starts, even if they're just spot starts. I think he did say he was going to be out next week. So, hey, another opportunity for the Sandlots to just kind of step up in different places. And I think we're going to be without manager Bruce Raspberry next week. That'll be Derek Surley, the bench coach, filling in. And we'll see what kind of lineup he can create with what he's got. We should have some of the big names back in the lineup next week. We'll let you know Wednesday what it's looking like. And then Thursday or Friday, we should have a final lineup for you. Speaking of creating the lineups, we talked to Bruce as well after the game about constructing the lineup and, the keys to the win. And he had some interesting things to say. And we're going to hear from him right now.
Game being just having everybody here. That way you had a full palette to work with when you create your lineup. Second would have been a good starting pitching effort to get us some good innings down the stretch. And then just the defense behind them. So,
elements all found hard.
Yeah, from the very beginning, right?
When you got 9, it's not a matter of, if you're going to play everybody, it's going to matter working out where's the strongest point I can put in. So, and really, it's just a lot. Defense is not an issue. I've got my outfielder here. I got guys who play multiple positions. So it makes it easier for me when you got guys that can't just play one position. Right. Which it comes through. But the thing is it's not that you're a bad hitter. Sometimes just getting a little bit more time to see the pitching. So if you move down the lineup a little bit, sometimes just seeing that pitch.
The subtle things never know
better.
And that's Bruce talking about, just how he constructed the batting order, what he was looking for, how he was trying to help guys who were kind of struggling, myself included, to see a few more pitches. Last week I batted in the third in the lineup. I just had one of my worst games ever. So he was talking about, just giving us a little bit more time down towards the middle of the lineup to see more pitches. It seemed to work out for me.
It helps with your time.
So last time we played them, we pitched Tim.
We did.
And we have to, and both of us have pretty decent velocity. So you think it was
throw them off the game a little bit. And Roger does a good job hitting the spots. Those things float. And if he gets those gravity, that gravity kicks in, Area 51's got nothing on him. So, and it throws them off the timing. Because they'll sneak a fastball in there, and they're like, where that comes from? Then they'll throw that little breaking ball in there. They won't even know what's coming.
Yeah.
And then you bring Tim's in there. It's on the same pitches, but they're going about 40 miles an hour faster. We had a lot of plays where they didn't make the play. They outran the ball didn't hit hard. That's just they're pitching like Roger, just didn't come in. That's the ball didn't get them. Yeah. And you hustle that line. So.
And this was Bruce kind of commenting on what his strategy was for the starting pitching and just the flow of the game as far as the pitching was concerned, what his plan was for throwing off the hitters for the Rangers.
Oh, that's the thing about being Sandlots. Sandlots don't quit.
Gang being
So there's there's that with Bruce. And overall, just a great game. It was good to talk to these guys after the game and just kind of get their thoughts on things. Other guys are camera shy and whatnot. I think I did get some audio from Eric, but it was just very quick and not enough to put on here. But just happy to see that Bruce is happy with the results of his lineup. He will be missed next week, and we'll see what kind of thing we can work out with the availability of the roster Friday night. So it was good to get back in there, put up a really competitive game in total, and just kind of these guys are our friends. We play them in the league, but let me tell you what, to see them struggle like they did, it wasn't a great feeling, but on the ball field, it was good to see. We just wish them a better game next time. And, we're not going to sit here and act like, we're the number one team in the league. We're still fighting for that second place spot. And as a matter of fact, let's take a look at the standings as they are right now. And so the Yotes and Stros moved to 7-1. Sandlots, hey, we move up again, and we are now sitting at 500 with a 4-4 record. Not a bad place to be with probably 7 games left to go in the season, the regular season. The Rangers dropped to 3-4-1, and the Bulldogs, man, I'm not sure what that score was, but I think it was a pretty, it was one of those yikes scores. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I know that the Yotes and Stros put up a 29 spot. Yes, I said 29. 29 runs that the Yotes and Stros scored against the Bulldogs. I'm not sure what the Bulldogs score was. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was somewhere around 10, 11 runs. But just a run smorgasbord in that game Friday night. And going forward, so we're looking at the Rangers, man. 3-4-1, sitting at 3-4-1, but they're a dangerous team. They're a dangerous team. I did notice that they had a couple of their better hitters out of the lineup, missing in action Friday night. So that was a little bit of good fortune for the Sandlots, and just kind of hoping to keep them at bay. So next week, let's see. Yeah, next week we have the Yotes and Stros. Man, Friday night, and that'll be Friday night, July 25th, 7:30. We will be playing at Zebo's this Friday. I know a lot of the guys, man, that field will take the energy right out of you. Both the infield and outfield grass is pretty thick, so it kind of feels like running in wet cement. And for some reason, it's just always super humid out at that ballpark. So we really got to do some hydrating. I know there's been a couple of games we've played out there where guys were just completely exhausted after the game. But looking forward to this one. Man, it's an opportunity for the Sandlots to just get out there and really just kind of put an exclamation point on their season by splitting the season series with the Stros at we've played, I'm not sure how many games we've played against these guys, but it feels like we're 1-3 against them. So if we get this win, we'll just kind of have a 2-3 series, kind of a lopsided one. I don't think there was an even number of games. I could be wrong. I have to go back and look at the schedule. But just to get a win against the Yotes again this season, and just kind of, man, put another blemish on their record, and that'll be a good moral victory, and just kind of give us the kind of confidence that we need going down the stretch to be able to handle whatever these teams throw at us. You know, it's last couple of weeks, it's like we got some swagger back, mainly because we kind of felt like we were, you know, minus with our lineup, with the guys being absent. We were kind of in that minus category where we're just kind of hoping guys are going to step up, which they have. And so that gives you even more confidence. And when we get our big heavy hitters and a full lineup back, man, that's just going to do wonders for us going down the stretch. So just kind of looking forward to that. If you are able to make it out to the game Friday night, please come join us. If you can't join us for the game, we will have a live stream, so you can check us out there. And you are listening to The Rap with Dez. You can find us on Spotify and YouTube, as well as our Facebook channel here on Facebook. I try to do 2 episodes a week, so Mondays are going to be the Friday night wrap-up, and then Wednesdays are a look ahead to the week's matchup. Just kind of give you the rundown and the format of how things go here. So, yeah, looking forward to this game Friday night, and then we're going to move on into some commentary now. So, talking about the MLB All Star game that happened this past week, I did not watch. I will admit that. I love baseball, but for some reason that kind of All-Star game has kind of lost its luster, and they've tried to they tried to revive it a little bit with a format change, just to kind of make it a little more interesting for everyone. Yeah, I guess it came down to a tie towards the end of the game, and as part of the tiebreaker, they implemented this new format where each team will choose, I guess, the top 3, was it? I think the top 3 hitters on their team, and they just go at it, and whoever hits the most home runs, that settles the tie there. So what happened, the way it did happen, is that it came down to Kyle Schwarber, who hit bombs on all 3 of his pitches, which gave the National League the victory by 1 run, I think is what it was. So, I don't know. Kind of cool that they went that way. I didn't pay too much attention to the home run derby. Like I said, I don't know if you're a pure baseball fan, if you are still a fan of the All-Star game and the format that they play it in, the rule changes. Just kind of, there's been a lot of changes in baseball in general over the past few years with the pitch clock, checking of the pitchers, for foreign substances on their gloves and stuff like that. We're just in a time of flux and change on the way things are happening in baseball. Some of them have been for the better. I was not a fan of the pitch clock when they first introduced it. I still don't know how I feel about that. I feel like as a pitcher, you kind of feel a little bit more rushed. You get out of your normal rhythm or your preference for things. But, hey, like Framber Valdez, he's learned to deal with that. And it hasn't really affected him too much. As a matter of fact, you kind of say that it might have helped his performances. He's been able to focus a little bit more. Doesn't seem to have the meltdowns, the mental meltdowns that he used to have. So that's good. I guess it can be good for some of these guys up there, and good for the game of baseball. I don't know about these automated strike zones and these robots that they're talking about bringing up. Not sure. I am a fan of accuracy, and I would like that in my game. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen with the human error side of things, but there is something to be said about, the human side of the game as well, and you don't want to take that out and just have a very sterile game. Some of the most memorable happenings in baseball have been because of human error, maybe a bad call here and there, especially like in football or something like that. But I just kind of feel like taking that out of the game, I don't know, kind of just sanitizes it and makes it feel like, just white bread, for lack of a better term. I don't know. I kind of like my bread with the seeds and all the little, the little nuts and stuff like that on it. Just something interesting, a little spice. So, but that's just my take on it. I guess I'm that grumpy old man now that I'm 49. kind of just looking and saying, "Oh, that's not how they did it back in my day." Back in my day, you know, when you start saying "back in my day," you start starting to have to look at things. Speaking of looking at things and getting older, one of the topics that I teased earlier in the intro is that there's a topic that's kind of been on my mind since the night that I went 0 for 4. Now that I don't recall any time in my baseball life that I've ever gone 0 for 4 at the plate, and that was a very sobering night, a very introspective night. I had to go home and I talked to Anthony Hare the other day about this too. He just said whenever I ever have a bad night at the plate or I just make these errors that are just very not me, I have to question whether or not I want to come back. Have I lost it? Have I lost that whatever it is, that step, that ability to just read a play, whatever it is, the essence that you had growing up that you just always counted on. Like I've always been one of the top players on any team that I've played for, and once that is no longer the case, you see the competition around you catching up to you and maybe surpassing you in some ways. You're not tracking the ball well. Your knees hurt, your body hurts, so you don't get a good jump on the ball. You're laying out for a ball and you're just missing it by inches where you would have had that, no doubt, a few years ago. So, at what point and what needs to happen? What signs start showing up when to tell you that it is no longer your time? That it is time, that it may have even become too dangerous for you to be on the ball field because your reflexes aren't the same. And those are hard questions, man, when you've just played baseball your whole life, you played any sport your whole life, and it's something that you love to do. You love being out there. And so you start searching, well, if I do feel like it's my time to lay this down, where do I go with it? Do I stay around the team? Do I still come to the games to help out, this and that? It's just, for some people, it's not something that they want to do because it's so much like losing a life partner that you just need to step away from things for a while. And to be honest, I had to have that conversation with myself after that 0-4 game. Now, it was a very quick conversation in that I was like, there's no way I've lost it. Maybe I just haven't reached that point yet where I have to face that fact. But, that's also that those doubts that just creep in from time to time when you have a bad game. And that was my first time going 0 for 4. So I had to just really step back and just kind of look at the reality of the situation and say, you know what? It was probably just a bad night. Just a bad night. And that turned out to be true because this past Friday night, I was able to go 2 for 2 at the plate with 2 walks. So I was seeing the ball well, as evidenced by the 2 walks. Those were both counts that I worked from either 0-2 or 0-1 into full counts and then into the walk. The 2 hits that I have, I barreled them up very, very well. I was happy with that. Those were hits that I haven't felt come off the bat in a while. I've been having a lot of swing and misses or just very soft contact off the end of the bat that just never really felt good. And that's kind of what had me questioning myself. Like, am I able to see the pitches like I used to? Am I able to track the ball, and just wait for it to get to the zone that I need to get it to? And those timing issues were just horrible for me at the moment. But coming back and just seeing a different picture and just having a different attitude about things seems to have helped. So I feel like I'm back on the horse and not ready to lay it down yet. But we'll get some comments from other people and maybe revisit this topic on Tap, the Totally Amateur podcast with Des and Raz, where we can get a couple of different perspectives on this topic. All right. See if we covered anything. Yeah, if we didn't cover anything. No, it looks like we are good. So you have been wrapped up. Thanks for joining the Wrap with Des. If there's any topics that you would like us to cover, just send them into the comments or email us at fwsandlots@gmail.com. Looking forward to have some guests on the show. Spoke to head umpire Sean Stott this past Friday and he is just super excited to come on the show. And we'll see what kind of topics we can give him. Not too many issues with the umpiring this season, but he was out there kind of monitoring things because there has been some confusion on the rules in some of the other games, especially in the 25 and up division. There was an incident over the past weekend about mandatory slide rule, and we'll get into that with Sean when he's able to come and join the show. So again, thanks for listening on this Monday morning. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you're needing that little pick me up, man, go grab a Coke. I don't know exactly when they're going to start with that natural sugar thing, but I'm so for it and I'm waiting. In the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy my W here. You guys have a wonderful day. I will see you on Wednesday morning when we look forward to the Yotes and Stros and talk about the lineup and what we see Bruce kind of doing this week. If you don't know, I just want to throw this in there. Bruce will not be with us this week. He will be on vacation somewhere in the Caribbean, I believe. So hats off to him. Enjoy your vacation, brother, and we will see you when you get back. We will see you Wednesday. Thanks for joining us again. Like, subscribe, and follow if we do anything for your interest. I hope that you enjoy this show, and we will see you Wednesday. Y'all have a great day. Peace.